Alrighty, how we doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Wolf, and welcome to Path of Exile Survival Guide, Season 2, Episode 2. And we are back on our Puncture Deadeye today. We've made a couple of changes, nothing really that major though. We're running Onslaught instead of Mirage Archer. We are running lesser multiple projectiles over Volley. That's a fucking mouthful, by the way. And I've decided to put the faster bow on in terms of speed and wanting to go that little bit faster. We're also going to throw our crit chance aura on because why not? And we're going to continue from where we left off. We are at Prisoner's Gate. We're going to try and get to Mervale and reach Act 2 today. Now, we have a slight problem in that we don't really have any form of piercing, which could be a minor issue for us at the moment. I'm probably going to throw that on, actually, in place of Onslaught, which kind of sucks, but should be fine for the moment. Keep in mind, since we are playing a puncture-based build, we want to shoot things and then keep moving to drag them towards us. There's an acceleration shrine, which is perfect for our want to go fast. Oh yeah, puncture is so much better. The only problem that I have with, puncture in general is that the projectiles are so hard to fucking see. So you kind of don't really know if you're hitting your target until they fall over, which is win-loss, I suppose. This acceleration shrine is making life a lot easier. And keep in mind, since our blade does so much damage, us just running past things, we're not really missing anything, are we? So you can see just one shot kills everything. Now, thanks to a little bit of pathing knowledge, we can make it to the ship graveyard very, very quickly. Now, in here, we have one side quest, which is for the All Flame, which we can either do as we come across, or we can do later on. But either way, if I come across the All Flame, I'm going to probably grab it, because it only takes a few seconds, so you might as well. That's my motto when doing most quests. If I run into them, do them. Might as well. But otherwise, just kind of leave them be. And then go back and do everything after I finish the game. That's also how I normally go about doing things in regards to quests and whatnot. I'm just kind of testing how Pierce works here, how much damage I can like get away with. And it seems to be doing pretty decently. The problem that I do have is how hard the arrows are to see. But as long as I click in the general direction, we should be okay. I want to try and get Deadeye as fast as possible. I'm not entirely sure if I want to showcase like acquiring all the trials, because you can find that online. It's not that difficult to do. And I believe this league already has all the trials done for me. So I'm not too sure when I'm going to be putting this out. But if it's at a time where I have not done the trials yet, let me know in the comments whether you want to see me do them, or you want me to just what's the word? Let's just call it grandfather it in, I suppose, because they're not really that difficult, but each to their own. I know some people enjoy seeing like everything in a video and that sort of stuff, but some people also wanted me to chop the previous series down to just the important bits, and running to do all the trials isn't really that important. I mean, obviously the trial itself is, but unlocking them all, yeah, it's not really that enjoyable. It's just time consuming, which is, I mean, a lot of Path of Exile, let's be honest here, but still. I'm looking forward to getting Tailwind. It's going to make things a whole lot easier, as well as an Onslaught Flask, if I could manage that anytime soon. I'm not entirely sure where you can get an Onslaught Flask in the main story. I know you can get one way later, like Act 9 sort of thing. But obviously we're a bit far from that currently. But a man can dream. As well as any, any extra transmutes I find. Unless I'm trying to make a weapon, I'm probably going to try and roll adrenaline on my flask. There's a possibility that you could get it, you can get modifications on flasks from Einhar that are guaranteed, but sadly he doesn't give you adrenaline, which kind of sucks. At least not to my knowledge. There might be a recipe I just don't have. That is also possible. But you can see we've got pretty decent clear speed here. No real issues whatsoever. Running with Pierce and Puncture. No real problems at all. Which is where Ranger really excels. Ranger is really good at early levels, and then gets even better late. So, I mean, I don't know why they've decided they want to change bows at any point, because in my opinion, bows should be the standard. That's kind of a statement I've had for a long time now. And I think they kind of realized that when they started doing the melee update and melee overhaul, was that bows are just good, and as the way they are. The animation canceling update made bows play a little bit more awkwardly, but give and take. I enjoyed all the melee updates until they took them away the next patch afterwards. So, well, they didn't take them away, but they proceeded to nerf everything. I don't know. It's the one problem that I have with GGG is their whole design philosophy of make something enjoyable for a league and then nerf it into the fucking ground. And their model behind it is, oh, everyone was playing it. Well, of course everyone was playing it. You buffed the hell out of it. Why wouldn't people play it? And then that's their reasoning they give for nerfing it is 50% of the league was playing it. Just bring something else up and give them a new flavor. You don't have to nerf the old flavor, right? Ice cream shops have like 20 plus, and I'm sure they all sell. Maybe some not as well as others, but they all sell. Oh man, I don't know. PoE's weird like that. There's not really a lot to comment on for the next little while, so prepare for like, I don't know, 20 minutes of me filling air probably. Grab that augment. Do I have anything to augment? That ring? I gotta take it off. If I can actually click it. Hey, max life. That's pretty good. Max life is one of the best rolls to get on rings outside of just flat damage. When leveling, getting flat damage anywhere is really nice. Iron rings are going to last you for a rather long time. You can actually run iron rings till like endgame if you really want to. Then you want to start picking up two stones. 2 stones are the ring we want to get once we get to like Act 6. If we're really going to have problems, that's where I normally drop my iron rings. But if you really want to play like fast AF, you can take it the whole 9 if you want to. Coloring's not really worth it. 19%. 18, that's actually an upgrade by 1%. Which does matter to some people, so might as well grab it. These sorts of areas that are like enclosed are always such a pain in the ass. Alright, you can move anytime now, pal. There we go. Thanks to our movement skills, we can drag him along with us and kill him quite easily. Puncture is such a good leveling skill, man. It really is. Provided you can kite effectively. I just imagine this with a 6-link tabula, and then you're really balling. Let's pop over here. Make sure to enable this, by the way. Always attack without moving. Otherwise, movement skills get a little bit awkward. By a little bit, I mean very, very awkward. It does not play all that well. Trust me, as someone who's played a lot of shield charge, first of all, they destroyed the shit out of shield charge, but it's even worse and even more awkward without that checked. Now, I'm actually going to pick up this cold resist ring. Not that I really need it. If you were worried going into the upcoming fight that we've got, which is going to be Merveil, you could put on this cold resist ring because she does nothing but cold damage. I think there's a slight amount of physical in there, but most of the attacks are cold. So if you're playing a melee build or you're new and that sort of stuff, if you find one of those on the ground and you're coming up on this fight, feel free to go about that life. But I'm pretty confident I can kill her without any actual worry, personally. So, but it's there if you need it. These treasure chests spawn an extra boss, which is not really that difficult. Of course, we just make a move, kite it out, and just pop in and out of range, keep him bled, easy. Grab that. Intelligence amulet, you know, I'm actually going to pick that up. It'd be better if it was strength, because then I could use chance to bleed support, and we can cheap that out if I can come across a strength necklace. Because at the moment, I'm going to need to take some of that in the skill tree to allow us to use some of our later game stuff. So before we go into the boss fight, let's put in our skill points. Damage. Let's grab Ballistic Mastery, and we'll grab Aspect of the Eagle for our few pointers, and then we'll work our way down probably. Might as well grab damage while we can, since we're already here. And make sure we shoot her. I can actually take off my lesser multiple put on Mirage instead. Even though I don't think Mirage is that much of a damage amplifier, if I'm honest. She doesn't move very much either, but she just teleports, which kind of sucks for us. She moves very slightly sometimes. But the advantage of being a ranged character with a lot of movement is exactly that. You have a lot of movement. So you can very easily do this fight without getting hit by a single thing. Unless you decide you want to stand in it for whatever reason. I'm looking at you, WoW Raiders, who I always seem to get in my teams. But, you know, you guys gotta kill bosses too, I suppose. This is what I kept Mirage Archer on for. The little extra phase, Mirage Archer will deal with all of them for us. Now this one actually does move a little bit, so we can get an extra bit of bleed damage out of her. And there we go. Ring, don't really need it. Grab the gloves. Hold Alt to show anything on your loot filter that might be hidden. Sure, we'll grab those. That color set could be okay. And we are into Act 2. And make sure I can keep fucking talking. I don't know, it's kind of weird because I don't really want to touch on everything, do like the ultimate basics sort of style, because I feel like I have done that already. But it also feels like I'm not giving that much information, I suppose. I don't know. Do I have no wisdom scrolls? I'm actually garbage. Okay. Well, we can solve that problem rather quickly. Let's switch back to LMP instead of Mirage. And we can keep on rolling here. Teleport up here. This is where Blink Arrow becomes very, very good. Because there's a lot of areas in Act 2 that are a massive pain to traverse, and any sort of movement skill that allows you to skip over terrain lets you do some pretty insane stuff. There's a skip that I don't know if I can like reliably pull off, but what it lets you do is hop into one of the boss pits from, like, let's just call it downtown Detroit, because it's pretty far. And I saw it on a live stream a long time ago, but you have to know the exact layout. But it's pretty good if you can manage it. That's the wonders of skills like that. Blink Arrow, I believe, has the longest range out of like all of them. So like Leap Slam, Storm Call, and all that sort of stuff. Is it Storm Call? Or I don't remember what that one's called, but the other mage ones. Blink Arrow has like one of the longest ranges. So we're going to grab all this. We're just going to talk to a couple of people. My game's going to lag because it's Path of Exile. And we're going to see what we are going for. We're going for 2 passives, which means we have to kill everyone. So to take the most efficient route we can, we are going to go straight up to get the top boss, which is Caitlyn. Then we're going to go straight down and go and get Oak. Then we get Alira and we get Weaver at the same time. And we should be making pretty decent time. So let's sell all this extra stuff we have here. And identify that probably. Sell that extra bow. Sell the smaller life flasks that I have because I don't really need them. And then we can sell, what else can we sell? Sell some shards to give us wisdom scrolls. Identify that. Attack speed. And mana gain on kill. Alright, that should solve a couple of problems for now. And intelligence, you know, why not? I'm not really gonna lose anything for that. Max life, I could re-roll the bow, do I care? Actually, I want to keep the alteration because I can use that to buy a Blood Rage or a Herald coming up at about level 16 to 20. So that's a bit of a speedrun tactic. You want as many alterations as possible because while leveling, you want to stack 3 Heralds and Blood Rage. Generally, because that gives you as much added damage as possible, letting you one-shot packs, kill stuff easily, and speed up your clear that much more. Alright, so we're just gonna put the fucking all flame there, put that there, switch that, just put that there. We'll go back for it eventually, and I'm gonna bank my excess here. Obviously, I have a slight problem in that I have an actual bank of stuff, and I don't really know what I've got, but considering I've got a decent amount of things, I think I might just keep the currency on me instead. Just do it that way. Alright, we're going to sell this a little bit of extra stuff, and we shall get rolling. I was going to look for a bow upgrade, which we do have, 12 to 26. Keep an eye on the attack speed as well as the quality, 130, 150. Yeah, but the damage is really good though. 6 to 16. I don't know what the cutoff for bows are because I don't play very much Ranger, but that could be good. I have a Chancellor, but let's roll it. Why not? Bam. What we got? Lightning damage and life gain on kill. So, because of the way the damage works, that's basically doubled its damage. Would have been nice if I got a fizz roll on it. If you want to be really, really technical and do ultra fast cheese strategies, you can get a bow base, or like a decent bow base. Then you go to your hideout. This is if you're on a like second character and trying to go like as fast as possible, and you can build leveling weapons via crafting, because all you need is one open prefix on a blue item, and it's really not that hard to do, or a good rare, because you pop it in here and then you can land some like whack fizz amounts, right? For 4 alterations you can get really good fizz. That's just tier 1 as well. Tier 1 fizz is unlocked pretty early. I think it's like act 3 if I remember right. When you go through the tunnel you get your early tier 1 fizz. There's also flat fizz, which is 4 transmutes. This is going to be how you cheese out a lot of damage early, because transmutes drop like candy, right? And I'm sure you normally have a decent amount of them. There's some times where I have like 200 plus because of currency boxes and whatnot. So you can use this on a bow while leveling to just boost its damage through the roof. So that's a couple of tricks you've got there in regards to playing physical. If you're playing a mage, you can do the same thing, except you take a wand or a staff and you put spell damage on it. 2 wands is normally better for spell damage because you can get a higher result with that. You can do that as long as you have an open prefix to get the physical damage. To see the prefixes and suffixes, hold Alt. If you're on console, good fucking luck. I'm praying for you. But just hold Alt and you can see prefix, suffix. So a blue item can only have 1 of each, and a rare item can have 3 of each. I think there's a level cap on that, or it depends on the piece, because I know there's some that can only have 4, but I don't know the specifics. It's normally like 2 on blue items, and 1 of each on blue items, and 3 of each on rares. So yeah, that should hopefully make sense. I didn't want to go over that too quickly, but I also didn't want to fuck it up. So that was my damage by quite a bit. My attack time, I lose a decent amount of attack time, which kind of sucks for clear speed, but yeah, just got to make sure we kill things and make sure the bosses die. Alright, skill points wise, we're going to put in Aspect of the Eagle, and then you know, I might actually go right, because I can get frenzy charges, because we're going to be going Blood Rage quite soon. I have 1% life regeneration per second, so it's going to be a little bit risky, but should be fun. Should keep things interesting for us. So we're going to go straight up and just gun it straight forward. The best part about Act 2 is if you follow the roads, it will lead you to the quest objective. There's no like learning layouts, it's literally follow the fucking ground. It's not that hard to do. I believe in you. I say that and then there's a cutoff in the road, but shh. It's slightly different pathing. That's all we really need to do. It's going to be so nice when I get Tailwind and all my attack speed buffs, and oh, it's going to be good. And yes, you can bleed a rock, by the way. That actually just happened. Don't ask me. Wonders of science, man. I tell you. As I said, keep an eye out for these. Now, I'm going to actually path over here and kill this, because this gives us a free rare. Obviously, I'm playing as if the character was fresh. Free rare is always nice, and most of these are very retarded AI, so we'll grab that. What does it do? Minions. Minions stuff doesn't really matter. As I said, all the other stuff will also roll rare, so if you want to hit a ring with it, like a white ring, like my other iron ring that I'm about to hit with this. Obviously, if you want to wait to get a better one, feel free. Essences are just like rare mobs that are trapped and then gives you something. Pretty self-explanatory. So, as you can see, it says properties restricted to level 45 and below, which is fine, because we're just going to use it for filler anyways. Slam that on there, and we get minion movement speed, but we also get life regen, and mana regen. I believe that is slightly tailored towards whatever the essence is, so you have a higher chance at getting like minion stuff from the minion thing. I don't know if that's just for like fossils down the line. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe there is a slight bias there. Make sure to grab that waypoint. There is a trial down here if you need to grab that. I just head straight down from the waypoint. You can just literally port to it and you'll go exactly there. It's not that difficult. You can find a website on where to get trials. I'll show you. That is brighter than my future. PoE trials. And you click trial of ascendancy, and oh, bam! That is all of our spots right there. And yeah, Crypt level 1 Act 2 is exactly where I just pointed to. That is right there. Alright, that is done and sorted. I'm probably just going to do the Aspirants trial now that I've showcased that, because I believe in you guys. You can read. I don't have to show you absolutely everything. I believe in you. Alright, follow the road. We will get to the boss in decent time. Grab the waypoint. Do I remember how to do it? No. Ha! There it is. There we go. Obviously, it's not that spectacular, but that is one of the faster skips. I believe you can skip right in here on a different layout. There's a different setup where this is like near to the ground, and you can just blink hop over the wall and just cut going over the bridge. But we have Caitlyn here. Simple boss who does flicker strikes. Decent amount of damage, I guess. Nothing to really worry about. Grab more damage over time. And we're going to kill this fella. Make sure we tag him with our bleed, because he's going to be jumping around, quite literally, and running towards us. Just port away from him. Nothing to really worry about. Make sure to bleed his trash. He's going to spawn extra stuff every now and then. Doesn't really matter. I'm having a real problem tracking those arrows. And he's dead. Grab the amulet. Exit the character selection screen to set us right back to town. You can portal scroll if you're in a team, if you want to do that sort of thing. But we can save portals because we're Jewish. At least I am. Or I swear I am. And we're going to go straight down to the riverways. And then from here, we're going to follow the waypoint, or follow the road to the waypoint. Make sure you have a movement skill, not just for cheaty tactics. There is a spot here, if you follow the road, that will require you to use a movement skill. So you can use just dash if you want. Point proven. That's why we bring a movement skill, aside from the fact that they're just good in general. Allows you to go that much faster. If you know kind of where the path's going to take you, you can cut through. Depends. A lot of layouts are a pain in the ass to memorize. But once we find a waypoint, I'll know exactly where we are. Same thing with the next location. Use dash. That can cover locations. Here's the waypoint. Pick up the waypoint. Go up top. There's wetlands. And this is where Oak is, the next boss, who uses Sweep, Leap Slam, and Immortal Call. Immortal Call makes him immune to all physical damage, which I missed that version of Immortal Call so fucking much, because it was really good. Very select people know what I mean by that. We got lucky and found him early. His way in is on the other side, and I'm actually retarded. But we out here, we're doing our best. And there we go. Pop in here. And kill. Make sure we tag him. He's also gonna curse you. Doesn't really make a difference. Just run away from him. Make him run towards you. You know how we play Puncture Ranger. Not that hard at all. Keep in mind, since I'm playing with 2 movement skills, I'm basically uncatchable. I was gonna make a really bad joke there, but I'll keep to myself this time. What you guys can infer. Oh god. Alright, anyways, we're not entirely done here just yet. We're looking for that. This is going to have a waypoint beside it. This is a story point. Click the waypoint. It's unlocked now. Go back to Riverways and go hard. I was going to say hard left, but it's going to show right on the cam. So, like, if we go that way, in-game, we follow the road, it'll take us there as well. You can see how fast this is. This is clearing through the actual main story this quickly. Act 2 is fast as fuck, if you know what you're doing. And it's really not that difficult to figure out. Once you do it the first time, you can start optimizing your speed, your clear speed, and just get better and better and better. Because once we get through all of this, we need to go to Chamber of Sins, then we get all of our damage boosts in the form of Heralds, like I was talking about beforehand. So in here, we're looking for two different things. We're looking for the waypoint first and foremost, so follow the road and grab that, and then I'll teach you a trick for this zone as well. Now, I know a lot of the early tricks, once we get into the later zones, we're kind of just fucking winging it, really, but... Okay, so, from this waypoint, the two things we need, which are the Weaver's Chambers. Ow, I just pulled my own hair. I've had hair this long for 5 years, and I'm still fucking retarded, but, you know, we out here. The two things we need, Weaver's Chambers and to kill a Lyra. Now, they spawn in two places, no matter what, because it's two layouts. So from the waypoint down right, there will be one, and up left, there will be one as well. So we can go down here, and if we start to see Lyra's people, it's probably going to be her. I think it's fucking farther back. But if we go down to the right and we start to see spider webs, we know that we are going to run into the Weaver's Chambers. Oh, it's farther down. I don't know. I'm trying to be smart, and the game's like, we're gonna make it look like an idiot. Enjoy. That's kind of how things go, I suppose. So, if we see spider webs, we know which one we're gonna run into. There we go. There she is. And we're gonna grab this and kill her, sadly, because she's my favorite bandit, because she gives the best bonuses normally. She gives bonuses that makes leveling really smooth. So if you want to take that route, feel free to kill her and then change it later on. There's a recipe to change it. I don't remember exactly what it is. It's something involving like a necklace or some shit like that. But it costs a lot of regret orbs. It's like 20, something around there. So if you want to change that, feel free. Because that will make leveling a whole lot easier. But since we're playing solo self-found, I am not exactly a rich boy. So such is life. That's the red beast. We are clapping that thing. And we're going to have Einhar with us for Weaver. Makes our life that much easier. Einhar is one of 4 or 5 masters in Path of Exile who have unique goals. Einhar enjoys trapping beasts. He's a hunter. And when he shows up, he will hang out with you for the entire map. Or the rest of the map. That includes any sort of zone in the map that does not constitute a loading screen. Such as Weaver's Chambers coming up here, because it still counts as a part of the Western Forest. You can see the spider webs, and now I need to path my way to a door, which is probably over here. There we are. And since this doesn't constitute a long loading screen, it does have one, but it's not that long. Einhar should come with. Alright, well, I'm actually retarded. Never mind. Never mind. Most of the time, if there's not a loading screen, Einhar will come with you. But that is different than I remember. Oh well. I guess I'm just used to getting Einhar in here as well. Grab the strongbox. You can actually use orbs on strongboxes if you want to take that route. So if you have spare transmutes on you or spare alterations, you can use them on a strongbox to get the loot, to make the loot that much better. Debatable. It depends on the box is basically the easiest answer. Ghosts. One sec. Can I not, like, get stuck on things? Ghosts are basically loot goblins. They will run away from you the whole time. There's a decently colored bow. It's pretty easy for us because we're Puncture Ranger, so when they run, they, you know, die faster. Basically, they're just loot goblins, but even worse, their loot's absolute fucking trash most times. I think I've gotten 1 unique in however long it's been. Chance to bleed on hit and physical damage. Well, that's going on. Let's see. That's 118. We actually do lose damage, which sucks. It's also worse attack speed. Are you for real? Oh, that is so garbage. That makes me depressed. Because, yeah, we rolled good elemental, so. Alright, such is life. That's where you can get tricked sometimes. I wonder if I can hit a... No. I was gonna try and hit a good physical roll with the alteration. I just used the alteration I was gonna use to buy Blood Rage and auras. I might just take one out of my stash. That one's on me for just being stupid. That one's, yeah. I'm not the smartest of fellas. Alright, we're gonna go up here. Hopefully up here. If not, it's on the other side. Like normal. No, there we go. And this boss should be pretty easy. We do decent damage. It will have a healing phase no matter what. Or not a healing phase, but like an immune phase of 50%. Doesn't matter how much damage you do. To my knowledge, you can't one-shot her. At least I haven't been able to. And I've played trappers that do shit tons of damage. You can kill her within 2 phases, though, with decent timing and good kiting. We're going to drop that. Grab the spike. Don't need the life flask, really. Pour it over here. Wisdom scroll and the classic. It helps to have a decent CPU that can load things quickly to do this sort of thing. That helps in regards to just pretty much everything. That as well as SSD, which I don't have, which I should probably get, but a PC upgrade just to play a free action RPG is... But, yeah. So all that, we gotta transmute. I'm gonna actually bank that, because I can get 4 and use it on a bow, and, you know, force a leveling weapon. Now, I don't know if that's kinda cheaty, because I technically at this point wouldn't have that recipe unlocked, but, you know, whatever. Grab this. Do we path down? Yes, we do. Okay, we path down and through Fervor, as well as we are going to get 2 more skill points from killing everyone. And so we're going to grab Aspect of the Links for 4% more movement speed, because we are fast AF, as well as pick up attack speed. And that is all 3 bandits done and sorted, as well as my game deciding to lag. And yeah, so we get a decent selection here. We get faster attacks, elemental damage with attacks, close combat, and vicious projectiles. I believe we run vicious projectiles. Yes, we do. So we shall grab that as a damage booster. Wonderful. Problem that we have is projectiles and pierce, because we can't trade out pierce just yet because we don't have the Deadeye node, which kind of sucks. So we're gonna get there eventually, hopefully soon, but I kind of want to put that in. Oh, it's a more multiplier too. Oh, you're killing me here. I can't get rid of any of this. Is there a 4 by chance? Got it at 3. I don't think 4s start to appear for a little while. I don't think it's act. I think it's act 3 when we get 4 links. So, oh well. Go to Chamber of Sins, which is right here. This is memorization from doing this way too many times. So we're gonna go to the crossroads and run straight up from the waypoint. I don't know how long I want to make this episode. I don't know. I might make them like an hour each. It depends on how long I really feel like talking, I suppose. I don't know. It's weird because until I put out the fuck was that noise? Oh, it was charges expiring. That's what it was. I remember I read something about that on Reddit literally today, because I was like, that noise was a little weird. It feels like I'm not really being informative, but I know I am talking about a lot of things at a decent pace. Like I'm talking like a fucking crackhead almost, but I don't know. We'll have to see when I actually put this out what the opinion is. Hopefully I'm doing alright. I believe in myself. Which doesn't happen very often, but we are here. I think I've said that 4 times in the span of 34 minutes. I almost said it again. Not gonna lie. Alright, we need to get into level 2. Normally level 2 is straight down from where the waypoint is. You'll find the waypoint in the center, and then run straight down. Yeah. This is where the trial is. It's on level 2. There's an ascendancy trial here. Knowing my luck, I've said that I have the trials, and I actually don't. So I'm going to get to Act 3 and have to go and do them all. At which point you can laugh at me. I'll give you that one. We're going to grab Dexterity. And then after this, we get access to all of our auras. We can take this garbage crit chance off and start doing a ton of damage. Transmute, that's 2 of 4. Composite bow, no, that's the same bow I have. I'm going to look for the attack speed base, and then I'm going to use 4 transmutes to make it hit like a freight train. And then we're really going to be in business. So, since we want to get the attack speed base to shoot faster and allow us to move on to packs faster, amping its damage is just going to amp our clear speed rather than going for a big bow. In regards to most clearing builds, you're building around clearing. Now, I know that sounds weird, but let me kind of explain that a little bit better. You just want enough to be able to kill things fast. You don't want enough to overkill it and its family members. You know what I mean? You don't want to kill it and the firstborn child. You just want to kill it most of the time. Which is where a lot of people fall short in building a character. They're like, I want as much damage as possible. And unless you're going to take the character to endgame bosses, you can start cutting some damage for life. You can start cutting some damage for speed, right? But there's so many people in Path of Exile who just think damage equals skill. Look at this big number. Yeah, sure, you can have all this shit ton of damage and you step into a map and just, you're dead. You can't, the old classic from WoW raiding is you can't do damage if you're dead. So, what we used to do in WoW when we were raiding, or when I was running a guild, I would tell people, like, I prioritize survival over DPS, because DPS can be learned. Like, you can learn a rotation, you can learn a rotation, you can get better gear. You can't, like, how do I say this correctly? You can't, like, do damage if you fucking fell over to a mechanic. Like, you learn the mechanic first, then you can learn your DPS rotations and that sort of stuff. You survive in the fight till the end, that's what matters. Alright, now we have Heralds because we killed that boss and grabbed the thing off of him, the Baleful Gem. It was such a, like, mindless boss, I didn't even need to comment on it. It just fell over. So, from here, we have access to Herald of Agony if you want to go Poison. This is pretty decent if you are playing a Poison character. A Poison Herald of Agony Pathfinder is a character I do still plan to play. And actually, I probably should have played it for this series, if I'm being entirely honest, because it's really simple to do. But, yeah, I actually probably should have played Herald of Agony Pathfinder for this series, because it's fucking foolproof. Ah well, live and learn. Then we have Herald of Ice, which adds flat damage, which is pretty decent, as well as if you critically hit an enemy, it shatters them, and it does extra damage in an AoE. This is really good for crit-based cold builds. That is a sentence and a half. This can let you literally clear full screens. I have used Herald of Ice in a Frostbolt character in late game that literally just destroys the entire map. I believe that build is also on the channel. If you want to look for my Frostbolt Occultist, you can see what I'm talking about in regards to that. Herald of Thunder is lightning damage and will strike down bolts of lightning near you if you kill a shocked enemy. And Herald of Ash is gain 15% of physical damage as extra fire. Now this scales off of the amount of physical that you have, so the more flat physical you have, the more percent you're gonna like get, right? So you want to get a high number. This gives you 15% of that number just as extra. Fizz as extra is the best multiplier and best damage thing in the game. So you want to get as much of this as possible, and I'm going to look for a strength amulet to be able to put this on. As well as if you kill someone with this active, any of the overkill damage is going to do an explosion around them, which deals AoE, which is spectacular for builds that hit like a literal freight train. Now, since ours is based on bleed, it doesn't really matter as much, but it is still quite good. Does this only give poison damage? Yeah. I thought there was something in this about giving damage over time, like modifiers, but sadly no. And then Frenzy, this doesn't really make a difference. Arctic Armors, whatever. And Blood Rage is where our speed's going to come from. Now, excuse me. I think I'm going to cheat and buy just the auras straight off. Once you, like, if you plan ahead of time, get decently lucky, and... Oh, fuck, words are hard. and are like leveling a second character, you really only need 3 alterations, because you get the 1 base one there. Then I'm going to buy from Yina here. We are going to grab a Blood Rage for 1 alteration. So that was me being stupid right there. And then we're going to grab Ice and Thunder for 2 more. So that is 3 alterations. I believe I've spent in this series so far, what, 3 alterations and a couple to showcase the shoes. I think that's forgivable, I'm pretty sure. Because what you can also do is when you get alteration drops, you can come back to Act 2. You can change through the tabs up here. You can come back and you can get it, and it will be leveled to you. So like, I'll go back to Act 1 and show you what I mean by that. The gems that sell from the actual gem vendors, like Nessa here, for example, she's going to give us something. I'll fucking deal with that in a second. She sells them level 6, right? They scale to you and to how much content you've cleared. So you can buy leveled gems, and if you go back to Act 2, when you get alterations, you can buy them leveled. Alright, what the hell reward did you have here? Mental Hit, Lightning Strike, Reeve, Lightning Arrow, Rain of Arrows, Toxic Rain. That's all garbage. I really don't care. Cool. Anything else? No. There's the side quest for a skill point, but I'll do that eventually. And we'll pop back here, and we're going to look for a Strength Amulet to be able to put on the Herald of Ash in the first place. So this is the Strength Amulet. We're going to go for higher strength, because why not? 1 transmute. Well, I picked that up, so we can afford that. Cuts back on my plans of getting a better... getting a better bow. But that's fine. So put that in there. And now I'm too stupid to use Herald of Thunder. It's a hard life. It's a hard life, I tell you. I wonder if I can... Is there an all attributes necklace? Not yet. Alright, I wonder if I can craft it. How much do I need? 24, 41, what, 30? 24. That's a fucking... Is it literally just... Yeah, like 17. Okay. Can I craft intelligence? Okay, 1 augment. Oh, you're an asshole. Oh, you're such an asshole. Path of Exile giveth, Path of Exile taketh away. Oh, fuck, that's kind of funny though, isn't it? That's kind of pretty good. Alright. I also don't have the right colors to put the fucking auras on in the first place. But I do have chromes, so I can also get a better hat. Let's pop back. I'm actually fucking annoyed. I'm actually so fucking annoyed at that. Holy shit. Oh my god, that was fucking funny though. I'll spend the other transmute. I'm fine with that. Put that over there. And I don't even need precision anymore. Put Herald of Ash there. And I'm gonna reroll it once because God fucking kill me. I'm rerolling that one time. We're just gonna, yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Out of pure spite, I'll take that one. And then we're gonna put in Herald of Thunder right in there. So now we turn on all of our auras. We go up a decent amount of damage. The only problem that we're gonna have now is related to our mana situation, which is why going a Lyra, giving you 5 mana per second, makes life that much easier. But we can offset this, because Blood Rage, wherever the fuck it is, gives you physical damage leech, and then whenever you level it up, gives you a mana leech as well, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, we're just going to keep up on our mana flask, and we should be pretty decent. The problem that I have, though, is that I normally put the Blood Rage on my dash key, which makes life a little awkward for me. But I'm going to set it there. I'm just going to set it... Actually, we'll leave it on W. Sure. We'll leave it like that. And you don't have to actually show auras. Like, you can hide them, and you're fine. Also, there's a second skill row now, which I should probably put the auras on that. But, oh well. I like having full skill bars. And we should have the Spike, and the Apex, and the Baleful Gem, which means we can go to the wetlands. Remember how I had us get this waypoint? We are going to go straight through here. And pop over here. Teleport past it, and click that. In we go. And in 15 minutes, can I get to Vol Oversoul? Probably? Yeah, I believe so. So, we're just going to run it through, and you're going to see how much more damage we are doing now. Obviously, make sure to keep an eye on your mana, but because we're not using a heavily linked skill right now, we only have 3 links on it, it does not cost very much. It only costs 9 per arrow. I think our teleport costs more than that. Most of our mana is going to be burned in movement skills. I'm going to hit the elite because it got ghosted, which is kind of annoying, but run them a little bit. There we go. Anything good? Any good coloring? No. Anything else? Nope. Alright. You can pick those up and sell those if you really care for currency. I probably should, but whatever. Grab the jewelers. There we go. You can see all the extra stuff going off because we're shocking, we're freezing, we're doing all this extra sort of damage now. And things are dying very, very easily. Make sure I'm pathing correctly or semi-correctly. Remember to kite backwards. Easily done. Running over here. Use our teleport whenever it's up. Save us time. And don't do what I do, by the way, which is press your Quicksilver and then proceed to stop and shoot. It's a very bad habit that I have personally, but we're working through it. Slowly. It's probably never going to get broken, but still. That was a yellow that dropped out of thin air. Grab that 2-stone for later on. Might as well. And there's a trick in here once I actually get to the correct area. I shall explain it to you. But basically just follow the yellow brick road until you reach the door. That's what most of the main story is, really. Did I actually miss? There we go. Look at how much damage we do. It's rather easy life. I actually went the wrong way. Up or down? Let's go down. Why not? That looks promising. That is not promising at all. Grab that. Okay. I should probably grab that silver coin, but whatever. Now, you want to be careful when leveling gems now, because you don't want to out-level your Herald of Ash, so you don't want to make it cost an amount higher than you have. Minor voice crack there. So, like, say for example, I were to take this necklace off, I wouldn't be able to use Herald of Ash, and I also wouldn't be able to use Herald of Thunder, the one that's currently popping off and killing things. That is how you do, like, stat cheats. You basically put stats on gear, and you're able to equip things. Now, something else you can do to really stat cheat if you want is you can say you can't equip an item because you are lacking a certain amount of intelligence. Say you're lacking 10 intelligence, but the item you're trying to equip has 10 intelligence on it. What you can do is get an intelligence source from something else, put that item on, then you equip, say, the bow that has plus 10 intelligence, and you take off the other source, and you've cheated the bow on, because now you've got the stats to keep it equipped. So that allows you to get a little bit of extra speed run strategy, so you don't need to fuck about with stuff like this that you're probably going to keep for the rest of the game, or at least until late game, when you can get actually good gear. Because obviously we're just using this as a statistics piece at the moment. Helps if I can actually tag the thing. It ghosted an elite. That's fun. Anything good? Grand life flasks. Necklace, iron ring. That's fine. Also, I haven't been turning on my blood rage, so let's turn that on. You'll watch that my health slowly degenerates, which is not really an issue because I picked up that bit of life regeneration. But now we're going to be managing 2 flasks at a time. Watch in the top left corner, you'll see that green thing? That is frenzy charges. They give you attack speed, movement speed, and cast speed for every single charge. Which means we want to keep that at maximum. We want to make sure our blood rage stays up, which means we want to keep killing things. Pretty simple. Basically keep on doing exactly what you were doing beforehand, and you'll just get faster for it. It's a difficult concept, I know. Alright, we're going to pop over here. Just make sure to keep tagging things. I'm looking forward to pierce all nearby enemies. That will be fantastic. Tag that. Obviously now we are a lot squishier because we are constantly degenerating health. But so long as we know that, we can keep an eye on it. Grab the essence. Make sure to keep dodging around so you don't get pinned down. We have a lot of abilities to make it so we don't have to deal with that scenario. And just so long as we keep killing things, we don't have to worry about blood rage running out. It's a one and done sort of thing. And if you really hate the idea of having to remember to refresh it, or remember to put it up in the first place, because you're like me and are absolutely retarded, you can use a variety of ways to proc it. My favorite is cast when damage taken, which is something you can find in Act 4, which after you take a certain amount of damage, oh shit, I want to level that up. Yeah, for now I can level that. Level those as well. And by the way, to hide this, because I know some people are going to ask, oh man, I can't level the gem, I can't fucking do anything to it. Right click it. It's gone now. The amount of people that I see, or the amount of like streamers that I see with that still just there. And then if you're wondering where to level it afterwards, right there. Yeah. You don't have to stare at that anymore. So grab these frenzy charges. That gives us an extra 4% movement speed, I believe. If not more than that. 4% move speed, 4% attack and cast speed. If I remember correctly for the values. So you see we slowly degenerate. Not a big issue. And we're at 4 charges and we are that much faster. Man, I just want Tailwind. I want Tailwind and Onslaught and yeah. I also want to be able to customize my UI fully, but we aren't going to get that luxury anytime soon. Well, 4.0 is getting announced in 9 days, so maybe I can. I just want to be able to move my entire set of buffs till right underneath my character. That's all I want to do. It's like there was a Diablo 3 community-made HUD mod that got you banned because it was too fucking useful. I mean, it also gave you walls, but that's another problem. What it did, aside from giving you soft wall hacks to help you clear your greater rifts faster, which was probably the reason most people got banned for using it, was it changed your UI and where it put the buffs. So buffs that you needed to track for your build were centered right around where your character was. So like this side and this side. You could see important buffs like how many minions you had, how long you had left on Wrath of the Berserker, which was a barbarian cooldown. You could see all of these important things. And something like that is paramount. It's too good, right? And it's also the sort of thing that once you start using, you can't really stop using. That makes it sound like crack, but I mean, good add-ons are basically crack, let's be honest. So there was a point where I considered risking getting banned for it because it looked so useful. It wasn't to the point that I cared about using walls, like I didn't really need that, and I was able to get like decently ranked. Managed myself a couple top 6s, I think. I landed a top 6 barbarian and top 15 wizard. I think, if I still have that screenshot. I think I have it recorded on the channel somewhere that never actually got uploaded, but I'm still proud of those. But, yeah, like I can manage without fucking walls. I don't need anything like that. But the UI stuff just looks so good. That's one thing I hope Diablo 4 has, is fully customizable. It's a hard life, I really tell you. UI. That'd be great. Okay, Ancient Pyramid. There's a trick to this zone. Wherever you spawn, the next door is on the exact opposite side. So it'll be this corner. And I shall prove that to you once we make our way over there. Well, there you go. Found it already. And same for this. So it should be straight across. Straight across all lengthways. Make sure to refresh Blood Rage, because it slows down and turns off sometimes. And that's a wall. And we gotta go farther left. Make sure to keep killing things, because we can, because we're ranged. Okay, really? We really want to do this right now? Keep an eye on my health pool. Keep Blood Rage up. Keep the charges up. Go through there. See? Exact. Corner to corner. Level design. That's the word. Speed run strategy is based off a lot of memorization. And when you do this enough times, you start to memorize very, very quickly. That was lighter than I expected. I'll take a fusing. I don't think a fusing is really worth that level of waking me up, but sure. And we have 4 minutes to kill Oversoul and make it to Act 3. By the way, making it to Act 3 in the first season, I think took like, honest to God, 10 episodes. I don't even think I'm fucking kidding, honestly. Alright, you can come out anytime now. He takes forever to spawn. I can put Vicious on too. Put Vicious on over the additional projectiles. Put on Blood Rage, because we can get extra frenzy charges off the trash. If he doesn't move, so bleeding him's kinda eh. But we'll get there. Certain bosses, obviously, we're not gonna be able to kill that fast, but if they can move and they can chase us, we're pretty okay. Most clear speed builds aren't optimized for bossing. They're optimized around trash runs. And if you can kill the boss, all the better. If you can't, you just close the map anyways, and it doesn't really make a difference. So you'll find a lot of builds that ran burial chambers when it was tier 3 back in the day. Would just clear through everything and then leave the boss, because the boss was able to literally just snap one-shot you if you made a mistake. But that dropped nothing. Wow, what a boss. Also, that's the other reason people give and take bosses, like, their loot is garbage. Aside from select bosses, like endgame bosses, their loot's good. But act bosses and map bosses are better than act bosses, but, like, map bosses are even kind of, yeah. There's also some strategies for not killing map bosses when it comes to Atlas shenanigans, but that's a story for a different day. That is that boss. Vol Oversoul sorted in 58 minutes. So we're going to put 2 points here. Evasion per frenzy charge. Sure. And we're just going to get this cluster because we're here. We're going to get to the main city of Act 3, which we are going to then be able to do, what's it called? Aspirant's Trial. I can probably do Aspirant's Trial right now because I am a greedy bastard. I'm probably going to wait a little bit, but I am exactly that, a greedy bastard who wants Tailwind. Make sure you kill everything around Clarissa because you have to make her stand up and talk to her. Otherwise, the quest won't progress and you will have to come back. I've done that before, trying to go ultra fast. It was awkward. Kill that. Talk to her. Wonderful. Progress down and along. Port through here. And we're in town. Now, the fastest way to continue, like, going fast, words are hard. The trick that I showed you previously of escape, exit to main menu, it works in Act 3, but not as well, because if you have to go to Slums, which is the next area, the run from the center here all the way there is long as hell. Also, those of you with bad PCs, I apologize, because this is the most common zone for all of the bots to sit in, because you can farm an exalted div card in here. So if you're playing in Standard League, this place will probably lag the shit out of you. I apologize in that front. So yeah, that run is kind of a pain. So just run straight up here and go out to Slums to continue the main story. But we are making it to the exact hour mark, and we've made it to the start of Act 3. I'm actually impressed with myself with that one, because that's very good timing on my end. So hope you guys enjoyed the hour-long episode. Let me know in the comments if you prefer shorter ones for like later on in the series, I suppose. Yeah, let me know how you guys are finding things so far. If I talk too fast, if I'm not being informative enough, if you want everything explained as bare bones as possible. Although I'd recommend watching the first series for that personally, but each to their own. Who knows where you're coming from or what you're playing Path of Exile for, but still. Either way, thank you guys very much for listening, and as always, take care, gentlemen.